Sometimes I have to go looking for videos. Sometimes videos find me. Yep, nada. Nothing. We're going to see what's going on. First step, I'm going to have to reset the BIOS to see if that's going on. Then we'll have to look at the memory, do a couple things. We'll see if any of that corrects it, but right now, she's DOA. Looks like I might have to swap out the editing rig quicker than I thought. Resetting the BIOS, but I don't think that's going to work either. You can look for the pins to reset the BIOS. I find it a little bit easier if I can get to the battery, just take the battery out for about 15 or 20 seconds. Much easier for me to do that than it is go poking around with a screwdriver. But, yeah, I don't see any color changing. Over on the monitors, I don't see anything showing up. So, yeah, we're going to give it a minute, but I don't think that worked either. Next step, let's go ahead and check the RAM. I might have spoken too soon. Look what's going on here. I'll see if this goes into the BIOS and see what happens. I do have a boot green light on the motherboard now. We might have something going, so we'll see what happens. And after a couple of tense minutes, I've got it booted, but things are all over the map. Things are kind of crazy on my screen right now. So, yeah, I only have one working, so we'll have to figure out what's going on there. But, hey, it's better progress, and maybe this is going to make for a very short video. So after doing the CMOS and finding that I didn't have anything up, and then it decided to try to come up, it went back out on me again. So I went to the next step, which was start pulling RAM. And right now I went ahead and put a stick in slot number 2, or I guess it's A1. I'll go ahead and stick another slot in the furthest one from the CPU, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just put known good RAM in here. I think I might have a problem with my DDR4, and I hate it, but it's a lot cheaper than replacing most of the system or the graphics card or something like that. So I'm going to look at that next. And whether it's fortunate or unfortunate, it seems that the yeah, computer came right up this time. I put in the Ripjaws 5. It's only a 16 gig kit, but I will go back and I'll play around with this. I will go ahead and try the Vengeance in there one more time to make sure, just maybe some freak thing, but I believe I've got a bad set of DDR4 because I'm good to go now. Alright, so we'll see what happens there. I'll give you guys an update and let you know what happened. And apparently after seating and reseating, I've gotten both of them to work, and they're showing up fine. So, yeah, that's a little strange, but hey, I went ahead and reset the BIOS. That was the first thing. It did come up after that. I went ahead, it came up that it was being flaky, so I took one stick of RAM out. It came up easily. I went ahead and swapped out both sticks, and it came up really easily. It came up very quickly. And so I went ahead and tried it, just putting the other two sticks back in, and it came up, and it's seeing all 32 gig now. So, I don't know, maybe it's just one of those weird things where maybe something had happened, a little power fluctuation or something, or maybe it's an indication of those RAM sticks going bad. I don't know, but in either case, she's working now, and yeah, I can't complain too much. I'm going to finish downloading stuff off of Steam, and then just double check. I'll keep the other RAM kit out just in case, but it's only a 16 gig kit, not a 32 gig kit. And yeah, so that really means I have to get on CoolBlue pretty quickly here. So my first thought when I walked in the office that morning and saw it was, oh man, and my second thought was, well, grab the camera, because we're going to do one of a couple of things. We're either going to fix the editing rig, or we're going to go ahead and document the change, swapping CoolBlue into that place. Now, CoolBlue is almost ready to be swapped into there. I'm doing some of the settings. I'm setting up like OBS and things like that where they have the same backgrounds and a lot of the same files. I want it to be similar enough to this rig where it's not going to be, you know, a massive headache, but I don't need everything copied exactly the same, just close enough. Otherwise, it doesn't feel like a new build, right? So that's almost ready, but I figured this was going to be one of two things. We would either take everybody along for the ride and troubleshoot this thing and get it working, which it is now, or we were going to go ahead and do the swap out from the old system to the new system, and then a later video would be going ahead and troubleshooting. In this case, we might still do a video on the swap out. That's fair. We also might do another video. The reception and the feedback I got on the server was pretty good. I did not think I was going to do another video on that. I might, to show you guys what the progress is when it comes up or when we get that far. I've copied a bunch of the files that I need to make everything kind of seamless, transferring stuff back and forth where I'm not losing things or not in danger of losing things now. Everything, for the most part, is in one place, which is a good thing, because before it was in 2 or 3 different places and I had to remember which computer, which hard drive, and all that stuff. So now we're getting everything consolidated, and it's much, much better. So I might do kind of a follow-up on that. It might not be a very detailed follow-up. I might also do one where I just kind of walk you guys through what I did to set up FreeNAS. I mean, if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and let me know in the comments. But otherwise, I will probably just do like a little bit of a follow-up and say, hey, this is what happened. In any case, I am number 4. My current editing rig is running fine and has been. CoolBlue is sitting over there to my left. As you guys are looking at me, I guess it would be to your right, but it's almost ready to go ahead and swap into place. And then I don't know quite what I'm going to do with this rig. I might use 1 or 2 things. I am going to use some of the hard drive space out of it because I need hard drive space. And so we'll see from there. I hope it's been at least a little bit interesting. Some of the things, if you come across that, I knew in my case, reset the BIOS the first thing. That was with thunderstorms and all that stuff, you just never know. I knew that I was getting power to the unit. I knew that things probably were in good shape because the fans were running. They were showing multicolors. I had the fans on the graphics card running, so I didn't think that was a problem. I hadn't gotten that part yet, but I didn't think that was going to be a problem. When I reset the BIOS and then it came back up, I knew the graphics card was not a problem, but I thought maybe something having to do with the RAM could be. So that was my next step, was to go ahead and try the RAM to see what happened. And sure enough, moving that around, it might have just been reseating. It might have been, it never moves. It never goes anywhere. So I don't know if what might have happened to make it kind of lose its mind for a minute. But reseating the RAM, swapping the other RAM out, and then putting the Corsair Vengeance, the 32 gig kit, was what did it. And yeah, it came up very slowly the first time when I was using 1 stick of RAM, but it came up very, very quickly when I was using 2 sticks of RAM with either the Ripjaws 5 or the Corsair Vengeance. So is that going to be the solution to you guys' problem if you have a problem like that? I don't know, but think of it in a logical way. BIOS is always one of the first things I check. Then I check simple things from there on. Cables, making sure cables are connected. The RAM, make sure it's seated, or take it out and reseat it. Things of that nature. You just never know where maybe you didn't plug it all the way in the first time. That sometimes that ends up burning up graphics cards, but I don't have one of those, so I don't have to worry about it. What I do have to worry about is if a connection is good and my computer doesn't turn on, which is always possible. In this case, maybe it was something with the RAM, maybe just a little bit finicky. Anyway, if you got anything out of the video, go ahead and throw a like on it. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'll have more stuff coming up on this and the swap over, and probably a little bit stuff on the server. We'll cover some of that stuff because I want to move some of my storage around, and that will be part of it. Not going to do a full video on the server, but I will do a few things. I'm sure I'll have other computers that I'll need to get ready to sell to somebody else, or another computer build somewhere along here. It's getting back into the season where some of the hardware releases will start to come out again soon, so I'll be able to get my hands on some of that stuff and maybe test it. I'm not sure. You guys haven't seen a benchmark test from me in a long time, and it's because I really don't know how I want my benchmarks to go. It's a lot of testing to try to get these and to make sure that all the tests are current enough with fairly current drivers or the most up-to-date driver. And in cases where maybe I haven't tested something in a month or two, I try to go back and do a whole slate of 1440p and 1080p, and that's just a lot of work. So I might do something a little bit easier, and it's something that makes a little bit more sense. So leave me your comments on that, your thoughts on that. What would you like to see? I'll take all that into consideration when I'm doing it, but ultimately I have to figure out something because we're going to get to the point where I'm getting new hardware and need to be able to test it and benchmark it. When CoolBlue gets put over there, I'll probably end up having to do some kind of benchmarks or testing, just to let you guys know how it does, and maybe how it does in comparison to editing maybe a 10-minute video, the old rig versus the new rig. We'll see. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Yeah, so that's about it. yeah, I've run out of things to say, which is okay. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit me up on the other socials, and if you don't do anything else, please do me at least one favor, and that's be good to each other. Be kind. Smile, wave, hold the door open, say good morning, anything. You have no idea what, and I say it all the time, but you really probably have no idea what small gesture you might make that could make somebody's entire day. And believe me, it feels good when somebody comes back and says good morning or holds the door open or waves or something like that to you. Just kind of acknowledge. Look, there's 8.1 billion people on the planet. If you can acknowledge somebody else or they can acknowledge you, that's at least one more person that knows you're alive. Okay? I hate to put it like that, but you know what? Everybody's important. So you guys be good to each other. Have a great day, hopefully. And until next time when I get myself into something I got no business getting into, I'll see you later.